ISIS, meantime, as Kitty was just talking about, now calling for Christmas blood. The terror group naming the Vatican as its next target, calling jihadis to wage war on Christians. So how seriously should we be taking these threats? We're joined now by terror and national security analyst for the Margaret Thatcher Center for the Heritage Foundation, or at the Heritage Foundation, Robin Simcox. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Robin. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
So let's just begin there with this Christmas blood threat, ISIS taking aim at the Pope. Not the first time that ISIS has targeted Italy.
Well, absolutely not. May of this year, there was the stabbing in a Milan train station of soldiers and policemen by an ISIS-inspired terrorist. And Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the head of ISIS, has long made warnings that ISIS will conquer Rome, as he puts it. So Italy is one of those countries, as with many other in Europe, as we have seen in recent months and years, that is threatened by this extremist movement. But
here's the thing. You take them seriously and you change your actions, or you do something like that, then they win. So you don't want them to win, in essence, by changing what you do or stopping to visit Italy or the Vatican or anything like that. So what do you do?
Yeah, I completely encourage. I don't think Americans should stop visiting Europe because of these threats by ISIS. This is truly where they win. And this is where we rely on the government to be able to take the fight to ISIS in their territory in Iraq and Syria, while law enforcement and intelligence officials at home work as hard as they can, coordinate with local police, work with other countries and other allies to try and safeguard our domestic security as best as they can, although, of course, there's never going to be a 100% success rate.
Yeah, and the Vatican has not commented on the latest threat, but we do know that back in 2015, approximately for the Christmas Eve service, over 10,000 people attended. So it's a difficult situation to keep secure.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And as you've seen in recent attacks, and we saw it in New York as well, if a terrorist acquires a vehicle and the law enforcement, intelligence haven't got wind of their plans, which is very often the case, it's so hard to stop that kind of attack.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen it in Nice, we saw it last Christmas in Berlin, in Stockholm and in New York, of course. This is a really common form of attack now for terrorists.
Right. And speaking of here in New York, since you brought that up, New York Post reporting anyway, that New York State officials have been warned that that bike path where the latest vehicle attack happened here, 8 people plowed down by this, and what was referred to as a major soft target. Apparently authorities were aware of it, but had not done anything yet. So do you think that they could have done anything?
Well, of course, after every kind of attack like this, you need an investigation, lessons learned, what could we do differently for the future. I would hesitate to be too critical here. I think we need to have a bit of caution. I mean, this is New York, a city of millions of people. If Saipov, the terrorist in this case, had been blocked off from one route, one bike path, he would have found another. He would have found a new, softer target. So, of course, we need to be aware of this. We need to take precautions where necessary. But we also need to say, this is an ideology that's inspiring these people to carry out these attacks. How do we get to the root of defeating the ideology rather than closing off every single bike path?
Yeah, absolutely. You're correct. And it's not just the bike paths. I mean, when you talk about soft targets, it could be anything. And unfortunately, at this point, all over the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us, Robin. We appreciate it.